Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move from ArcGIS Online to consuming services, and we're going to show you some of the new stuff that's been added into the 9.4 desktop package. Can you guys do something about the contrast on this? Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Matt Baker is going to take us on a little trip here.
Can you hear me? All right. All right, for this example, we're going to focus on the city of Detroit. Right away, I'm looking at a topographic map that Bernie showed us, which came from ArcGIS Online. Overlaid with that, I have a number of different layers which have come from the city of Detroit's GIS. So my purpose is I'm looking for key areas for redevelopment within the city of Detroit. And I'm going to use a model to focus my area of attention. And then I'm going to use some of the sketching tools to do a little bit of neighborhood redesign. So just to show you what I've got in here, in my table of contents, here are the different layers that I'm looking at. And just to show you one of them is housing units and vacant housing units per block group. To make some more sense out of this data, I'm going to build a model. And I'll show you the model that I already have open here. And it's a very simple model that basically takes all the different layers in my table of contents and extracts certain block groups that meet a criteria. Here are the layers that I had in my table of contents. Here are the different tools or operators that are going to extract those block groups. And here are the resultant data sets that I get for each of the tools. The final piece of the puzzle here would be to take the intersecting areas that meet all these different criteria, and those would be the areas that I would use for my redevelopment.
So Matt's looking for things like vacant lands, blighted areas, low-income areas. You get the idea. So what he's going to do is generate a subset of these.
So I'm going to use a tool called Intersect, which allows us to basically take all the inputs and find the intersecting area. I'm going to use the tools to simply link all my data to the tool. And I'll do this one by one. I'll have this add to display when I'm done, and I'll just neaten up my model a little bit. So now I'll just run the model. And what it does is for every tool, it's going to run it, find my block groups, create that resultant data set, and go through and do these one by one.
So the red boxes are showing us the operations that are taking place. And whenever you have an oval that's got a drop shadow, it means it's created a data set. And I forgot to remind Matt to add the result to the display. You got it. All right, sorry. That was my job. I missed it.
All right, there we have it. So there, I'll just change the symbology real quick so we can get a better look at this. So there are the areas, my key redevelopment areas. Not bad. So I'm going to actually do some neighborhood design now. There's my areas. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more to an area that I like. I like this area because there's schools in place, there's parks nearby, and they've actually just put a whole new dedicated bike path down an old rail cut. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit further, and I'm going to start doing some GeoDesign. So we're going to start to use our sketching tools by starting an edit session. And I have a set of layers loaded in here already. When I start an edit session, I'm presented with a list of feature templates that I'm going to use to actually do some drawing.
As he's doing this, is Avi here? Yeah, Avi from AECOM Design? So Avi is the author of this template with these symbologies and markers. Thanks, Avi.
Good. All right. First thing I'm going to add is a commercial area just to sort of be the anchor for my new neighborhood. So I'm just going to drop this in here. And you'll notice as I'm drawing with the symbol, but I'm drawing with the attribute of the actual type of data that I've chosen from my feature templates. Next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of street beautification. So I've got a couple different line templates here, which I'm going to simply drop in on the map. You can see I'm drawing with the symbol, but there's attributes and there's data behind the scenes. I'll drop in another one here. So there we go. So I'm starting to focus my neighborhood now. So the next thing I want to do is add some moderate density housing. So I'm going to grab it from my template window and, again, just start sketching. All right. So it would be nice to have a little bit of feedback here as I go, just to get a sense of how much I have as I'm drawing. So I'll open up a dynamic charting window here. And already you can see that I have the amount of area that I've drawn on my map instantaneously summarized. So I have the acres. I have a breakdown of how much area is in the pies. I have the different types of data that I've drawn. And as I select another one, i.e. I'm going to want to put in some high density along here, right? As I add this to the map itself updates and the chart updates. So again, I'm going to draw a little bit more area here, some parks, and then one more area of low density housing, which I'll kind of put over on the side here. So I'll start it here and just kind of wind it around. as I
So
go.
hopefully you're getting the idea. If you've used our product before, we're really trying to acknowledge that designers are using this now, and we're trying to make this easier. You don't have to know about the geodatabase. You don't have to know if you're dealing with points, lines, or polygons. You're just putting stuff in.
So we're going to take another look at Detroit example tonight at 5:30 with Ahmed Aboukatar, our community development lead, in one of the back rooms. So if you're familiar with the area and you want to take another look at this stuff, we'll be back there. Thank you.
Okay, so the takeaway for this is you can build models easily, no programming, and there's a sketching environment, an editing environment, which is a little bit friendlier for designers. Yeah, now he was going to put in that community point of interest,
There
but
it
we
is.
kind of lost that. Okay. Thanks, Matt.